Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a very special treat for you. For the season 1 finale of Carlos's Curiosity program, we have our very own local creative legend. Based here in Nova Scotia, Canada, his name is Kyle Roche, aka TheDottedLine. He's an immensely talented artist with years of experience playing the guitar, trumpet, and piano, using his immense skill set to produce bangers, with a Z, as the kids would say. Kyle is known as the Jazz Monk, having started at the age of 9 and eventually being accepted by the University of Toronto to study jazz further. Unfortunately, while abroad, he slowly began to develop signs of psychosis, which eventually led to a diagnosis of schizophrenia. Regardless of his diagnosis, he continued to create, refusing to stop. The story with Kyle isn't simply about mental illness. The true beauty of his story is his ability to persevere, reinventing and creating for years, turning his suffering into a connection. So we here at Knopes Productions are absolutely honored to have him on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carlos's Curiosity program. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to have this man on the interview talk show, The Dotted Line. No further context needed. Everybody, round of applause, please. Woo! Let's fucking go! Guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
We're good to we're on the air.
We are officially on the air.
Okay, yeah. How's everyone doing? Nice to see you.
Dude, it's going good. Honestly, seriously, thank you so much for doing this, man. Really do appreciate it.
It's all good. This is the first time for me.
Wait, is this
the first time for me doing something like this?
Is this your first interview?
I would say so, yes.
Oh God. Okay, the bar is high. We have to make a good first impression. Okay, we don't want you to hate interviews first.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, yeah.
No, honestly, super stoked you're here, dude. Before we even get into anything, the new album is coming up. That I'm super stoked for. Do you have an idea on when it's releasing, or?
So
it might be hard to say.
No, not really. I mean, I'm kind of I do a lot of these productions kind of on my kind of own terms. I'm a bit of a control freak.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a control freak with music, and it's been to my it's been like a really good thing for my development, but at the same time, it's been to my detriment as well, because I don't find myself letting other kind of not influences, but I'm a control freak, man. You know, I try to like I want to produce it. I want to rap on it. I want to play the guitar on it. I want to play the piano on it.
Yeah, but it's very much a like. I feel this somewhat similar about my own art. I'm very like, it's my own little island, and it's very personal to me. So when it comes to, at times, I used to struggle with it more, but the influence from any outside source kind of feels like it's diluting your distillation of art. Do you relate to that at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it does feel like that, but at the same time, like the music sounds better with community. You know what I mean?
Very true. Yes, that's what I figured out too. Art. Yeah, the best art comes from the contribution of other people you love and respect. The sum of its parts is just so much greater than each thing by itself.
Yeah. I agree, and like, you know, I did this EP with William Hunt. He's my buddy from Toronto. And
shout out the homie.
Yeah, the homie, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it was such a good experience, and like I just it's probably one of the best things that I've been a part of. But it was like, it was a mutual effort, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I do want to get some collabs on the new album and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm a release freak. Like I release and release and release and release, and yeah, it's
I notice you're very
I don't
big
know.
on output. The amount of times you both record things and post things to social media, you're churning things out like super fast. You're always like in a constant process of like creation, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why. There's definitely something that drives us all to do certain things, and the music is definitely one of them for me. But don't get it twisted. I'm definitely up and down with music, like most artists. I think like it's is one day it's like, it feels like bliss, and then the other day it just feels like nothing's coming to me. But I I I think it's making a point of trying to reach that flow state or that creative space
Yeah.
every day, right?
I think that's
And
super well
that's
put.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it really does feel like a crapshoot a lot of the times. It's either like the most fulfilling aspect or thing you can do at times, or it's uh like navigating through jungle weeds, and it's just like hard, and sometimes it really is just like sometimes you go scuba diving, you'll get to the bottom, you might find some pearls, but sometimes you don't. But yeah, it's kind of give or take a lot of the time.
Yeah, and I find like the shininess of the pearls sometimes it's indefinite, but the other times it's just that it wears off. Like I
Yeah.
released I released some albums back in like 2022, 2021, and I just deleted all of it. Like
Really?
when I was 24, yeah, 2024, I deleted all of it,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm starting fresh because it just didn't. Your standards get higher too, right?
Very true. Yeah.
Um,
I completely understand
but
that.
I wish I didn't though. I wish I didn't. Because like,
So yeah, I find your journey like extremely fascinating. I wanted to go back first, um, kind of in the early phase, because starting out with music, you were doing like guitar stuff, and I wanted to understand like your influence and or I guess like your sphere of influence at the time, and like kind of how you got into the world of music.
yeah, so like I always loved like this is a bit of a I mean like I did like a lot of rock music. I loved like Guns N' Roses. I
Yeah.
liked AC/DC.
Hmm.
I liked when I was a kid, right? And I liked a lot of um like Metallica,
Dude, my dad loves all
but
those bands. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah,
You
I mean
feel me
they're
out?
classics,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they had their issues, but they made it. That was where the money was being put
Hmm.
with this the record making, right? So
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of good production and a lot of heart in that music. As much as they may have not been the best role models for some people, but
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, I think still valid music.
100%.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
You were put onto progressive metal and metal by, I assume, your parents, right? Kind of showed you some of the classics.
no,
No, you found
no,
it.
just friends. I'd
Really?
say. Yeah, my parents like a lot of Latin music.
Oh, interesting. Damn.
Yeah, I kind of grew up around like rock. I mean, they liked rock,
Hmm.
but like Latin music and rock. But like the metal was more my friends and stuff, progressive metal and all that jazz.
That's a really interesting mix of like cultures and influences. Damn.
And my father's Cuban.
That would make more sense. Round of applause for
Yeah,
Cuban father.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, give him a light applause. We have our qualms, me and my father, but
Fair enough.
he's generally a pretty good guy.
Dude, I got qualms with my mom, so I feel that. I get that.
That's good. Yeah.
um yeah, is there something about guitar that like you connected to deeply or emotionally at the time?
It was a passionate instrument. It's a very passionate instrument,
It
and
really
me
is.
being from the suburb
Mhm.
and just kind of a normal introverted kid, and able to buy a guitar that's somewhat built nice, and afford rock camp and guitar lessons. um I think I gravitated towards it, but I don't know, something about it. I did practice quite a bit. Like, even when I got to university, they would call me the jazz monk, because
Yes, I heard about this.
all I did, you heard about this?
Yeah. We did our research around here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Anyway, so like, yeah, they call me the jazz monk, because I wouldn't, like, sometimes I wouldn't even go to the jazz parties, and I would just, they call it a shed. They call it shed because the Charlie Parker thing, right? But I would just practice all day long, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. You know what I mean? It was just like something that was so easily connected. So easily connected. It was just something that I didn't have to push for at all. But that changed. That changed pretty heavily when I turned 20. But I think when you get older, I'm only 26, but like, when you get older, or at least have things that filter it out.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's like a chase to get back to that childhood feeling.
Amen.
And I think that's and I think that's a chase worth being on the path of, right?
I think that's really well put. I found I ended up in a similar kind of path, where getting into like visual art stuff, at first it was like, it occupied all of my brain. While I was working at a grocery store, I would literally like take receipts, and I'd like draw my ideas out, and after work I'd go home and I'd like execute the ideas. And after doing visual art for a long time, it's kind of I feel like I'm still chasing that like gold light that initially drew me in. I reach for it a lot, and sometimes I'll like grab at it, but yeah, starting out, it was like the most fulfilling and fun thing ever.
It's fluent. It's liquid. It's like it's just something that comes so naturally.
Yeah.
But it's a lot to do with the ego, right? That comes through when you get older. It's like the ego is just like such a beast in its own. And I think when you're younger, you're so malleable with the way the ego works. And you sure have an ego, but like it's different, right? It's different, and it's less of a loathy type thing, because when you get older too, especially with the social media and stuff, like everyone's comparing everyone to everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm on that wave of just holding on to optimism. I think it's like so powerful. Art and culture right now, I'd say, is in like a beautiful space. It like ignoring or like putting aside like all the AI slop or like whatever bad stuff that's being produced. Like, music and art is in an amazing place right now, and I can't help but feel like optimistic about where it's heading and continues to go.
Yeah, I feel optimistic. I'm also a little bit my philosophy on music is always changing. It's like it's something that I wish would remain constant, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Music is one of those things that's just like sometimes you see the point of it, and then other times you don't. Maybe I'm just a numb type of person that's a little bit apathetic, but I find there's days, right, where I think, you know what? I think it's not putting too much weight on. I don't know. I would actually love to hear your opinion on this. Like, where do you, I just find with music, yeah,
like it's purpose.
Sometimes music.
Yeah, I'll let you finish. Sorry for cutting
purpose,
off.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No, sorry. No, it's all good. Yeah, it's purpose though. Yeah, like what is the purpose of art and music?
I'd say personally, I think my loose idea is art is like the highest form of like expression. And imagine the difference between me talking to my dad or you or anybody, and I'm like, hey, I really appreciate what you've done for me, and like I appreciate you as a person. I think that art is a way to express that communication but in a higher form. I think art is just like the most saturated or dense form of expression. That's kind of my loose idea. I mean, there's days where it loses its value, or you're like, I don't know. But I think that's the loose idea, is that art to me is just like, it's like super heavy and like the most pure form of expression.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's pure. Once it's made, it's made and it's always pure. But the human that listens to it doesn't necessarily bring the same level of consciousness to the art, and that's something that I'm guilty of for sure. I find it's like some days like I'll listen to Miles Davis and I'll feel the connection,
Mhm.
and other days it's like I just find I'm not
Meeting it.
I don't meet it at the same level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
I understand that too. Yeah. I feel like
yeah, it's weird.
I would say that a large part of that is one, I guess when it comes to music specifically, it's taken me some time to open up my taste and be able to appreciate more things. Sometimes you're just like not in the mood to meet a sad song where it's trying to take you. But other days you're like, you're more willing to meet it halfway. It is kind of like it just the bar or the spectrum of like where it's at kind of changes based on, I don't know, kind of how you're feeling that day, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's such an interesting thing, and I've
Hmm.
thought about it a lot, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I think that music and art and is all like information too, right? It's all information, and if you watch the news, sometimes the news can be very negative, right? And but sometimes it can be very informative, and so I think it takes a conscious effort of knowing what you need with music. So like
I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like it. You know what I mean? I think there should be more education, honestly,
Yeah,
when
honestly
it
that's
comes to
fair.
like music and art. You know,
I
I really do.
I'm really trying to, cuz I like this idea a lot. And I've thought about this a lot too. I think like I've spoken to other artists and they've mentioned like they'll pour their heart and soul into a project, and then on Instagram someone will just comment a fire emoji and like not really engage with the art on a deeper level. And yeah, I don't know. I think that you have to open yourself up to experience it on a more personal level. Sometimes that's hard to do. Sometimes you don't really want to go there. Sometimes you just want to listen to music, vibe out, and to put in the emotional effort to go where an artist is taking you can be a lot for some people. Or sometimes, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
no, it can. Like,
Mhm,
no, I completely agree. And I think depending on what type of art you're making too, right? Like, if
mhm,
it's a meditation flute,
mhm,
most people are going to listen to that and say, "Oh, this is relaxing. I like
mhm.
this." But if it's say Merzbow, do you know Merzbow?
No, what kind of stuff is that? Or that?
It's harsh noise, right? It's harsh
Interesting.
noise
Yeah.
music. He's from Japan or something, and he makes this like experimental harsh. It's really well produced,
Hmm.
but like it's very noisy
Yeah. Yeah.
and not melodic in any sense. I mean, sometimes it can be a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty noisy. Anyways, if someone listens to Merzbow, they can have this reaction that's very um, like it's too dissonant. Oh, it's gross. It's
Yeah.
ugly. It's this. It's that. It's that. Then why did I cry to Merzbow?
This is
Why did
actually
I cry to Merzbow?
okay. So another idea that I think is interesting in this vein is I think that culturally, maybe it's due to like the amount or the sheer amount of output, but I think culturally, by default, when people consume art, they consume it through a critic's lens. So they'll judge the value of something based on its technique, its skill, and XYZ variable. But I think to actually genuinely appreciate something, if you just turn that off, like if you turn off your criticism, you could probably experience noise music in a much more interesting, profound way than if you're like it's dissonant, it's nonsensical, or XYZ.
But you know what? I think it might be like a web. It might be like a web, right? Like,
Mhm.
you listen to Phoebe Bridgers. Okay. And you've been listening to Phoebe Bridgers for the last month. Okay. Well, you're not going to jump over to John Coltrane and expect to like it, right?
Another very good point. Yeah, there's a gradient. You
You
can't
know?
really. Some people are more inclined to jump around a lot, but I agree. It is very much a gradient or a spectrum of moving around to appreciate types of art, I guess.
Yeah. I think that, if that's another, it's just very prominent in the culture to judge, right? And
Yeah.
we never used to be like that. We used to be judgmental in different types of ways, right?
Mhm.
Um, like, but with music, especially, like people are just judging, judging, judging. Back in the day, if you heard freaking someone play music, you only heard music once a year, right? Oh my God, buddy's got, you know what I mean? Like, especially if it's a symphony or something. Oh, the symphony's in town. Oh my God, they only come in town for once a year.
Damn,
Let's
that's
go to the
insane
symphony.
to think
Oh my
about.
God.
Like back hundreds of years ago, like an actual like musical performance or like proper music was like a rare and cool occasion. That's fucking insane.
I know that with the saturation, right,
Mhm.
comes a devaluation.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very ugly.
Yeah.
It's very ugly because it's such beautiful. So many people are making such beautiful art, and like people just don't appreciate this the way that it could be appreciated. But that's just the movement of technology and culture.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that other than make your own stand and say, okay, what am I gonna do to appreciate this art on a full level? And I think I don't have it figured out. I wish I did, but I think it does have to do with the web, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
all you can really do, I feel like, when it comes to like the speed of like the internet and culture and finding a way to appreciate the art within it, all you can really do is slow down a little bit, curate, and allow yourself to be. Because that's the thing. I feel like I voice cracked a little bit. That's the thing. When you're trying to appreciate art, it's almost like being vulnerable, like allowing yourself to go somewhere. So I feel like it's like a muscle you exercise, right? Like the more you practice, like, fine, I don't care. I'll listen to this genre, or like I'll bear witness to like this aesthetic. It's almost like you have to develop it's an acquired taste. You have to develop an appreciation for this kind of stuff, and not just it's not just like fast food that you're just like scrolling past. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I do want to speak about like jazz and like university. So you were at STFX for roughly 2 years, and then you managed to get into Toronto for music.
Yeah.
First of all, another round of applause. Woo! Dude, that's fucking sick to get accepted to go to Toronto to like study music is super impressive.
Yeah.
So that was sick. But I kind of wanted to ask about your academic university like music stuff. So you had the option to choose between classical music and jazz music. And what made it like what made you choose jazz music initially, I guess?
I think for my personality, and also for a lot of people, jazz is probably the way to go, because it's a lot more informative on how to make your own types of music, right? But I haven't been to a classical program, so I can't speak for all classical programs. It's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
But the jazz programs that I went to were absolutely phenomenal. They were really cool. They were really well set up. They were very intense, and not everyone could handle that intensity of like, okay, you're now a jazz musician and you have to practice, at least 3 hours a day if you want to make it through the program. And, a lot of people go in there and they really like rock music and they want to be a rock guitarist, but they say, hey, classical music sounds boring. And so I'm going to do jazz. And that's kind of where I was at. Like, I love progressive metal and all that.
I was going to say the progressive metal to jazz seems like a pretty nice bridge when it comes to expressiveness and like experimenting.
It was. But also I got to the jazz program and I saw this one guy, his name is Travis McDonald. He was a student there. Shout out Travis.
Shout out Travis.
Yes, shout out Travis. So he was probably the best player in the jazz program, right? And he was a guitarist. He became one of my best friends, and I learned a lot from him. Probably just as much as from him than the professors, because I was always around him, right? Yeah, I went to jazz school, and I got in from the skin of my teeth to Saint of X, and I didn't know crap about jazz. I didn't know Miles Davis. I didn't know John Coltrane. I didn't know Wayne Shorter. I didn't know Herbie Hancock.
Going into jazz blind is insane. But
it was insane.
Yeah, the way you it's awesome that you navigated that. But yeah, it's kind of insane to do that. I'm glad it worked.
Well, yeah, but. Yeah. If there was a progressive metal program, I would have taken that, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
But jazz was the closest thing. And I said, oh, well, jazz sounds cool. I mean, in my head, it sounds cool. I never really listened to too much jazz, but yeah, I'll apply to jazz school because, mom's saying, you better go to school, Kyle. And so jazz was jazz is just such a beautiful music. And once you get the jazz bug, you don't let it go, right? It's the improvisational aspect of it, the ability to express whatever's kind of happening in your head at the moment is you just fall in love with it. If you got the right people around you and if you have the right mindset for it at that time, right? And for me, I did. I had the right mindset, to do jazz school and really commit to it. And I was going to be a jazz musician.
Yeah.
That's why I went to Toronto, right? I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to up the level a little bit and go to Toronto and really study with all these great jazz musicians.
Wow. What an amazing story by our esteemed guest, Kyle, aka The Dotted Line. But before we get back to that, I got something I got to tell you guys about. Did you know we had a Patreon? It's only $2.99 a month, and you get this show a week early, amongst a plethora of other things, and an amazing Discord community that you can join and be a part of. But that's enough shilling for now. Let's get back to the show. What was that, Carlos?
Just for a bit, to speak sincerely and to touch on the challenge of initially dealing with a bout of psychosis. Do you find it difficult to explain to people who haven't experienced it or who are unfamiliar with what psychosis is? Do you find it difficult to communicate that with people?
I probably do online. I probably do online because I don't open up much about it online. It's in my bio, and I used to kind of say a man with schizophrenia makes music, but I never really open up about it. But it was, and I will say it wasn't really about. It was more of a tsunami of psychosis. It was pretty freaking intense, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those times in my life that I wasn't the only one affected, right? And it wasn't something that I had control over at all. And that's what psychosis, especially the first onset of psychosis, is kind of all about, right? I can say this, I guess, but I was smoking weed, and that's what caused it. I wasn't doing anything else, right? It was just
actually
weed.
It's terrifying because I have a brother, and he literally experienced the exact same thing through smoking weed, and he was drinking as well, but drinking doesn't really cause psychosis. But he also developed it, or I'm not even sure if you would say develop it, but it also happened to him as well, and it's terrifying to see. It's not just one day you're boom and it's you're crazy or whatever. It's a very slow progression of losing your sense of self. It's just a very scary thing to watch happen.
I'm really sorry that happened to your brother.
No, I mean, he's chill now, he's doing better. Shout out my brother Michael. I love you very much.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke.
Mhm.
And like people a lot of the time, and this doesn't really bother me at all, to be honest. It sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I just brush it off. But I'll do these live streams, or I'll post about my, they'll see it in my bio, and they'll say, there's something behind you. There's something behind you.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, they're listening. They're listening. It's like, as a joke, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, it's not funny, man. This shit ruined my life for a long time, right?
On your YouTube channel, you have this like 15-minute video. I think it's it's like 15 minutes long. It's a few years after your diagnosis, I believe. And you're describing what it's like to go through, I believe it's called anhedonia.
Yeah.
Yes. So I found
that was actually, I think that was only like a year later, or maybe
okay.
less.
Yeah. I saw the video is like 5 years old or something, but
oh, okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
yeah, I wanted to speak a little bit on your relationship with like music and creativity whilst kind of like battling or dealing with anhedonia.
Yeah, it's torture.
Yeah.
It's torture. It's literal torture. Like, I mentioned this in a video I made, and I think you saw it, but probably a couple of days ago, and it was kind of like, I think I said something like, I can't think of anything worse other than like something like slavery, or like, something really bad. Although you're a slave to psychiatry when you get injected with this medication such as Invega Sustenna or something like that. And, I was sick. I needed help. Of course, give me the meds. Sure. They dosed me up. No problem with it. But the side effects, people, come on, put a little bit more money into this goddamn field. You know what I mean? Like, I never chose this illness. And so these medications basically, over like 3 months or 4 months, I gained 50 pounds. Something down here didn't work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We
I
go.
know.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny now.
Yeah.
But like, I call it chemically castrated. And, and then also the anhedonia, which was the worst part, because you don't like, it's not like you have hope, right? It's just, you're mitigating, but I did hold on to hope. But dude, there was so many times over the 2 years after that I was just like, nah, I'm jumping off the McKay. I'm doing it next week. And then I would wuss out, or I'm gonna take this, and I'm just gonna end it. Nah, I can't do it. Dude, it was horrible. It was torture. No one sees that side of it though. Like I got the worst drug, right? Because it was a serious psychosis. Invega Sustenna is known to be the worst out of the bunch. But like, I was forced medicated that for like 2 years. Like, that's inhumane, man.
That is a very long time. Did you feel experiencing
Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I understand your passion.
It's like therapy.
No, yeah. That's what no, I totally get it. I think did you find it okay, so here's my observation. I feel like you are an insanely like talented. You're very like, what is it called? I don't want to say expressionist because that's not the right word. But you like to express yourself. You're very sincere and honest and creative, and there's a lot to like get out of like your heart and your system. And experiencing anhedonia, which essentially flattens your ability to feel and care. There's like a dry apathy that comes with anhedonia. Yeah. Did you feel disconnected from like creativity as a whole?
I would try every day, man. Every day I would try something new. I would try mind techniques. And I think that meditation and whatnot that would help it, if I did more of that back in the day or whatever. But I think just the trauma of what I went through and, the experience and the medications, there was nothing I could really do. But I think to answer your question, I would try every day, but it was pretty bad. I can't really sugarcoat it much. Like I would get things done. And I would have moments of excitement, but it would always kind of come back to this like, just like, it's like your dopamine should be here and that's baseline, but it's here and then it can go here, but that's about it. Right. And it's like, yeah, it's the worst thing I ever went through, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But like the reason why I like to talk about it is because like people should know, right? People should know what the average or what a person like me, with schizophrenia or your brother or anyone that has schizophrenia or psychosis, if they take those medications, that they run the risk. I'm not saying don't take your meds. I take my meds still. I got my injection today. But you got to find the right med. And in my case, I was manipulated by some spirit that fucked my life up. So I had to be forced medication, the same medication. They wouldn't change my medication thanks to the system or whatever. But
yeah, our lovely healthcare system that we have here in Canada.
Our lovely healthcare system. Yeah. And by the way, mm-hmm. I mean, people like me that even commit like, smaller acts of treasonry, they spend sometimes more time in a cell because it's this very weird thing. But I don't want to like label anything, but yeah, it's the healthcare system definitely. But what do you do with the person that's crazy? But also, if a person gets medication, they are no longer crazy. They are most cases, not all cases, but like they are like, if you're not running around and like insane, like I was, like I was running through the streets of Toronto, like, because I was being like, guided by this thing in my head. And people were honking at me like, yo, get off the fucking street. Like, this is like, that was crazy. Right. But 2 weeks after I got my medication, I was like sane again. Right.
Yeah, the strength of the medication is like so powerful. It's very cool. It's like a slow descent into psychosis, but once you get the medication, it's very quick to get out of it. Obviously, there's like a million side effects that comes with the medication itself, but to pull someone out of psychosis takes like not nearly as much time as it does to like slowly fall into it. Yeah.
But it depends on the case, right? Some people still have symptoms when they're on Invega, and that's the horrible thing about it. Some people's schizophrenia is much worse when they're medicated versus me when I'm like, I'm pretty like, yeah, I'm crazy in some ways, but not in a schizophrenic way, right? Like I take my meds and I'm fine. And I'm on Abilify now, which has been a lifesaver, but it's not for everyone, right? So sometimes people can't be on Abilify. So it's this weird thing. I think there should just be more money put into it, maybe. I don't know, like, or maybe more science, or I don't know. But like, people with schizophrenia are suffering, right? It's like cancer of the mind, right? Like, chemotherapy is not fun. Neither is antipsychotics. So like, make it just please, someone help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even for my sake anymore, but like, because I'm feeling pretty good lately. But for the people that are stuck on Invega, God bless their souls and save them, please. Like, it is a nightmare.
Were you a spiritual person before your experience, or do you feel like what you've gone through has kind of like pulled you towards like spirituality?
Yeah, no, I wasn't spiritual at all. I wasn't raised in a spiritual family. I wasn't really akin to any sort of God. Nowadays, I'm like, I believe in God, although I do believe that God is very, it's like Poseidon, right? That's why I hold this. This is my holy trident. This is the I don't know if it means anything else anywhere else, but like, when I was schizophrenic not too long ago, because I think the first time you guys reached out to me, I was going through a little episode, and I would hold this symbol because Poseidon told me to do it. Apparently, his Poseidon was in my head, right? I was smoking weed again, like freaking months back, and I went a little crazy. So I can't smoke weed apparently, but yeah. So I do have a weird connection with.
So funny. All right, we ruled it out. We figured it out, guys.
Well, it's confusing though, right? Because I was always kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'm just schizophrenic and it was meant to happen.
Yeah,
maybe if I smoke a small THC percentage, then like, keep it on the CBD weed. But no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, for some people, there's like
can't
receptors in your brain that like THC somehow is just like the trigger for a lot of people. It's really interesting, like the science behind it. But yeah, for some reason, a subset of people, I think it's like, I might be just making shit up, but like 4 to 5% of people who smoke the Mary Jane have like a chance of developing it. Or it's a small subset, but yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's not worth it for a person like me, but I had to explore that twice. Like there was 2 times. And the most recent time was months ago, but yeah.
Dude, well, now we know.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
We've gotten to the bottom of it. Yeah,
but I'm good now. I mean, like,
sure.
there's a lot of people taking care of me. I got my family, and I got my healthcare workers and all that crap. So
you seem in like a very positive and just in a very positive like place right now. You could see through your the songs you've been making and your general like demeanor and some of the stuff you post. Yeah, you seem in like a really nice place right now, and it's like really nice to see.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
If someone is first seeing or hearing your music for the first time, what's something you want them to take away from it?
I have a lyric actually, and I just want people to, if you don't like it, that's fine. But like, try to get through the whole song. And if you don't like it, never play it again. And like, it's an interesting thing because I'm always trying to market my music, and I always feel a little bit like jaded sometimes when I say to myself, oh, I only have this amount of monthly listeners. But you know what? Like that just kind of gives me the reason to keep on creating, keep making better music. So
yeah,
my music is definitely it's an acquired taste, like we were talking about before. But like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's raw. It's very personal, and yeah, I don't know. People are gonna make their own opinions on it.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you feel closer to like peace now in your life generally?
Yeah, I do. I mean, there's a spectrum to suffering, I think, and I think suffering is something that comes and goes, right? This too shall pass. Everything passes, and I think that community is one thing that I'm learning that's very important. And I'm always trying to break out into more people's lives and just learn about humans, because I think we are social creatures. Yeah. But ever since that 2020, when everything happened, I was an isolator. Like I after that moment, I isolate a lot. So I'm still trying to break free from this isolation that I tend to do, and saying to myself, oh, I just need to make music. That's all I need. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and that's like an artist thing too, right? Like some people just think that, oh, to be the best, you have to make music all day long.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of, I feel like, there's like this neurotic aspect to creating art where, and also I think just culture, like society generally is very like hustle and grind and like make stuff. Yeah. If there was like a message or theme to this like show, it would probably be like community is important. I feel like that's like consistent across like every interview, for sure. That the community is important.
No, I think it's just the one of the fundamental things about being human.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like for real, like your story was super interesting to like research and like look through. I see like your stuff as almost like a. What's that Tupac song? Is it like Rose in the Concrete or something? Yeah, that's kind of how I see your stuff, where you're a brilliant like musician. You've went through like strife and you literally like push through that. And the stuff you're making now is like really interesting. It's like, I don't know. I just like love your work. And I think your story is really interesting and important for people to hear. And I'm super glad that you decided to hop on this.
I cannot thank you enough for even checking out my music, let alone inviting me to an interview.
Dude, you're a fucking G. I'm really so glad you came here. Dude, I love your shit.
No,
you're super cool, man. Would love to catch a show, maybe go to Gus's pub or something. Dude, that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah,
man.
I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, dude,
I'll
we're
let you know.
recording a music performance in a couple days. I forgot about that.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Let's cut to that now. Should that be it?
That's it?
Yeah.
Three, two, one.
Yeah, motherfucker, we be in the East Coast. I don't like to boast and I don't like to joke. I'm seriously riding on the shit. This ship named Theodore the Tugboat. You know I keep the mood low, and I do this shit for the Juno. Talk about my downfall already. I hold that tried and steady, bitch, beside and riding with my brethren. We got machetes, cutting down the brush that's ahead of us. Playing shows at Gus's pub just for the hell of it. What the helly? We gon' make that milli. I'm a robber, open up that tilly. Not really, I'm just a simple man that got PTSD. That stands for perfectly tragic, sadistically damaged by the god in me. If you seen what I've seen, you recognize the depths of this abyss, bitch. You know I'm rich with, oh wait, I'm not rich at all. I'm just a person that's ready to fall. Yeah, I'm the plug, so keep me on call. This ain't some shit you can buy at the mall. I be a Bakugan ready to brawl. Yeah, do that. That's a fact of that nature. Getting that cake, so call me a baker. On the come up, at the same time come down. I'm always getting recognized when I go downtown. Little do they know about my history. For 26 years I've been feeling obsolete. I can't even afford some fucking Mickey D's. Do that. I'm a goon. 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 Don't make me rob you. Open the tilly. We making a milli. I'm a goon. I'll fucking rob you. I don't care what you think. Boy, I'll even rob a brink truck. 'Cause I'm a goon. Yeah, I'll fucking rob you. Don't make me do what I do.